The European Maritime, Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund is an EU fund which is allocated to Member States to implement actions under their adopted programmes covering the period 2021 to 2027. The actions contained in the programmes will contribute to fulfilling the objectives of the Common Fisheries Policy, the EU Maritime Policy and the EU Agenda for International Ocean Governance. This will also fulfil the objectives outlined in the EU Green Deal, which is a roadmap plan for EU environmental and climate policies.
In order for seafood production to be sustainable, it's important that not only is the resource carefully managed, but also the impacts of harvesting that resource on the wider ecosystem, including biodiversity, is considered. The Biodiversity Programme helps provide the evidence and science basis to support the implementation of the Common Fisheries Policy, which also aims towards sustainable seafood production. This ultimately means that Ireland develops seafood production in a way that protects and restores biodiversity.
The EMFAF Marine Knowledge Scheme includes actions that will improve our knowledge about the state of the marine environment, and it'll improve our knowledge about activities that happen in our coastal seas and our oceans around Ireland. It concentrates on the collection, management, processing, analysis and use of marine data.
Well, the EMFAF programme is a 7-year programme, and it's really important for the future of our fisheries. It funds an awful lot of different institutes and people that are involved in the industry, such as the POs, the Navy, the Department, and especially our scientists. And it provides funding for important projects that help secure a future for our fishermen.
In the Marine Institute, we implement the Irish EMFAF operational programme through a series of projects which we manage with the support of the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine. The projects supported and delivered under EMFAF are key enablers to gathering the scientific data and evidence needed to support the sustainable development of the blue economy, including fisheries and aquaculture, while enabling us to address challenges associated with climate change and biodiversity.
We've recently initiated 2 key programmes under the EMFAF Marine Knowledge Scheme. One relates to data and digital evidence services, and the second relates to climate impacts in coastal and marine waters.
The EU as a global ocean actor has a responsibility to protect our oceans and ensure that their resources are sustainably managed. In Ireland, a major producer of seafood, we will utilise EMFAF to achieve our collective goals, be that through food security with the supply of seafood products, growing our blue economy, and most importantly in supporting the livelihoods of our rural coastal communities who depend on clean oceans and seas.
The data covers the full range of marine activities. The availability of data services like this means that we can deliver on our national obligations like marine spatial planning, marine environment, offshore renewable energy, climate change and fisheries.
The EMFAF programme is co-funded by both the EU Commission and the Irish Government. The Minister for Agriculture, Food and the Marine and officials in this department have the responsibility for developing and implementing the EMFAF programme, which contains multiple schemes and projects. Those schemes and projects are then delivered by several state agencies, including the Marine Institute.
Food security in the marine sense means producing a sustainable supply of seafood while balancing consumer demand with the need to take care of our marine environment and our marine biodiversity. This work is really important. It's really important that the projects that the Marine Institute and other agencies perform under EMFAF gather the scientific evidence and data needed to inform all stakeholders and policymakers so that the right decisions are taken for our future.